Hey everybody, welcome to the shop, or garage today. This is your first time visiting us, hit that subscribe button below, turn on that post notification bell. If you're returning, thank you very much. Today we are working on the Cub Cadet 1872. This is a project I wanted to do much earlier in the year, but just due to how fast our lawn grows and the unknown time, how long it was going to take me, I didn't want to get started and not be able to finish and end up with lawn 10 inches thick. So what are we doing today? We are replacing the seals in the steering block, steering assembly. The power steering or the hydraulic fluid will leak out the steering column and drip all over everything, making it a giant disgusting mess that I have to constantly power wash. Drips on your shoes, it drips on your pants, it gets all over everything. So last year, or maybe it was this spring, I think, I went through and replaced the hard lines in here because those were broken, cracked, and unobtainable to find replacements, so I had to make new ones. The issue with the steering pump, which we'll get into once I start taking parts off. This has to come off, but the steering column goes down into here, and right about here there is a block where the hydraulics go into, and there are seals that eventually fail. Now in my box of Cub Cadet M&Ms, I should have, there we go, a set of seals from Steiner, other random parts, empty bags, a float, shear pins for the snowblower, which we don't use anymore. But the important part here is this bag of seals. And hopefully these are the right ones. I'm also certain that I'm going to have to run to the shop to get some wrenches eventually. But for now, let's work on taking off these side panels. I'm sure I'm going to have to move eventually because if this mower deck has to come off, well, that's going to be tough to do right here. But you know what? We'll just, we'll see. We can just use a good old one-size-fits-all because I just recently had these sides off for a fall power washing. So they're not tight by any means. I'm gonna go and put these back or I know they will be lost. I already know I'm gonna have to run down to the shop to get some of the lights for better lighting here, but I don't know that I can show you. Probably not. Right up, you see these two pipes here. And those go up into the steering box, which is right up here. And that's what needs to come off. So my access is pretty limited, as you can see. And yeah, we've got a little plate down there to come off. A couple of bolts. And yeah, we can kind of see it in there. It goes up to the steering column, which I think is just going to be a disaster. As you can quickly see, this is one of those projects I've also been putting off due to A, time constraints, and B, it's just not going to be that fun. So let me look at this side here. A little better insight, well, kind of not much, because we've got a wiring harness in the way. The bonus here is that there is a forum or many forums for Cub Cadet owners and enthusiasts, and I'm going to drop a link below for the site I'm going to use. They've got a pretty good pictorial walkthrough of what needs to be done. Nothing on the disassembly portion out of the tractor. So yeah, otherwise it does give some step-by-steps of how to disassemble that steering box, what parts go where, and what parts are prone to come flying off and getting sent across the room. So let me regroup, grab a few tools, grab some lights, and bring up that website here, and we'll come back and start trying to tear this thing apart. Alrighty, well, I'm making some slow progress. Got as far as getting the steering wheel nut off, and of course the steering wheel is stuck on. My Harbor Freight puller has not worked yet. But I did go ahead and get all of our hardware spun off underneath. And I still don't know that you can see too much. No, not really. No. Maybe from the other side. Kind of. So there we go. There's the bottom of our steering valve. I've got all the lines disconnected. They're all 11/16 hardware. Just took a while to get all of those spun off. Alrighty, well, you can see I'm getting some things off. Steering wheel is still stuck on. But the big part is I need to figure out how to get that shaft out. There are 4 nuts on a pair of U-bolts underneath the dash here that I can loosen, and it should all come out. The downside I have remembered now seeing the post again is that the original poster had been going through restoration or rehab on theirs, had all the fluids drained out of it, had the engine off of it, and tipped the whole thing on its side in order to more easily get access to that steering column in the box and yank everything out. Me, that's not going to happen. But it does tell me that the mower deck has to come off, which is unfortunate, and also that I'm going to have to find a way to get the front end in the air, probably a good 3 feet to 4 feet in order to pull out that shaft. So that kind of leads me to believe I'm going to be getting the Bobcat and somehow lifting it, suspending it on straps, something. Maybe I just fork the whole thing and lift it up just so that I can get under it and get that shaft to drop out. So maybe my plan of attack is get the mower deck off, get everything loosened up. So once I do lift it up, I can simply slide it out the bottom, keep track of what way it was oriented so that when it all goes back together, it goes back the same direction, because putting it all back together to have it steer in reverse, if that's even possible with the fittings down below, I haven't seen yet. But I just want to make sure it goes back together. And this stuff here, it's not hard. It's one of those deals where it's going to take you more time to get to the part than to fix it, I think. So yeah, let me figure out how I can go ahead and get this thing suspended in the air safely, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. Alrighty, well, we have been making progress slowly and kind of surely. I got the steering wheel knocked off, tried to pull on it with my puller thing. That didn't work. Ended up just beating the crap out of it from the bottom with my dead blow hammer, and eventually it knocked it off. That steering column is splined, so there is just some crud and gunk in there, rust. I don't know if you can see in there or not. Maybe not. There you go. You can see it was splined. And you can see it kind of chewed up the bottom of it with that gear puller. But you know what? Nobody sees that, so if it bothers me later, I'll just get a different steering wheel because my center cap is missing. So if anybody has a center cap with the logo on it, I'd love to talk to you about acquiring it. Let me know. As far as the stuff underneath goes, let's take a look at it. All right, so we got all of our fittings removed, and actually started to slide the whole assembly down a bit. There are in here at the bottom of the hydraulic cylinder for the deck raise and lift, and the 3-point if you have that. There's 2 half-inch nuts on a U-bolt, and then up at the top here, there's another 2 half-inch nuts on a U-bolt, and then there is a another locking collar with a half-inch bolt and nut. Actually, right up here. You can't see in there, but trust me, it's right to the side of where those red wires are. Anyway, so my game now is how far down can I shift this column before I have to actually lift up the tractor? So maybe I don't need to go get the Bobcat, that'd be nice. Maybe I can just take my floor jack, lift the nose up a few inches, and be able to slide it out the bottom. Probably got 14 inches I've got to slide it yet, so we'll see how far I can go. That makes me happy. Alrighty, it almost kind of looks like somebody's been down here before because only 3 of the 4 holes on this mounting bracket are in. The 4th ear looks like it's clipped off. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about that, even if somebody has been in and replaced these seals once before. Well, we're going to do it again. Here you can see that 4th side is nipped off. But it looks like a clean cut. I don't know. So I had to go look at my site, onlycubcadets.com, right? Yes. And again, I'll put that link below here for that. But I need to look at the disassembly because there is a specific way you do it. And man, I'm warm and sweaty. It was like 70-some degrees today at the beginning of November. Ugh. And I'm still wearing jeans. Anyways, what I was saying is there is a certain way that this thing comes apart so you don't launch these springs inside across a room. There's plates in here. Some come together. Some come apart by themselves, some come together in a group of different ones. Then I have all of these different seals. So I need to be mindful when I take things out where the seals are coming from and kind of lay out everything here in order. So I'm going to find some old cardboard so I can lay everything out, mark it with a pen, poke the bolts in where they go, just to make sure that I don't mess anything up. So let me do that, get organized here, then I'll take this thing apart. Alrighty, well, my clock says it's about 9:30 in the evening, so I'm going to do the sensible thing and start taking this thing apart so I forget how everything goes back together tomorrow. Here we go. Got some 1/2 inch, maybe. Gonna say some 1/2 inch hardware. Maybe. Nope. Alrighty, as I was saying, some 1/2 inch hardware. Seems to be draining hydraulic fluid. All over the floor. Out of the steering column. Go ahead and set these here behind you. Now, if I can remember my login for this website. Okay, so the first piece here, this top comes off. There should be a pair of seals under here. Actually, there's 4 of them. I'm going to take you off upside down, set you behind there. Do I have those 4 seals anywhere? I don't think I have those seals. I have the one big seal. Okay. Now, I've been warned this plate has some springs in it that shoot, so we need to be aware of that. I'm going to put a shop towel over it. Wow, that's really leaking on the floor under me. That had a lot of fluid in it. One spring. Set you down. All right, how about the other springs? Are they going to behave? Yes. Okay. That ball is going to be important to keep. These springs go on that plate. I'll turn you around and show you all the parts I'm taking out in just a minute here. This ring here I'm going to keep seated in there. So it looks like this plate comes off by itself. There are more springs down below it. We'll get this off first. And set him upside down. More springs right here that we don't want to disappear. All right, so it looks like these 3 or 4 plates come off as one. Grab my towel again. The springs did not shoot out, but I'm going to keep my towel over them just because. Then you have this guy here. Under here, inside of here, it's like I said, it's called the metering package. It does not get torn apart. Just this top comes off. Casing is removed. No springs. Again, we'll set him inside, upside down. And then this piece here comes out. I feel like I'm disassembling a bomb or something. And down here, apparently this seal here gets replaced. And these guys come off. Oh, 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 oh. Look at this. There's one ring in here to get replaced. It's one of these. I think it's this one here. I thought I saw some damage. It might just be crud. But either way, I guess this should come out now. With more fluid. Yeah, more gunk in here. I thought maybe a seal had failed completely. but I'm just seeing crud and scuzz. So we'll make sure to go ahead and clean this out well with the last of our brake clean we have. But for now, I need to get a little bit of a cleanup crew down between my legs. That's all the fluid that came out of this block, or what's left of it, and it's now on my floor. So I need to get some super clean on there. But what I wanted to show you more importantly was all of my parts that have come out. Starting from now, I guess, the bottom. Here's this piece here, this whatever it is, metering thing, big block around that. Our top block, this, our springs, and then our top cap. So, I'll probably have to watch this in reverse to figure out how it all goes back together. But I said that was going to be the case anyways, right? So I'm going to go ahead and shoot this thing out with brake clean, clean up some of the other parts, and then let them sit. We'll come back and start reassembly, see if I can pair up all of these seals to where they go. Alrighty, this is Future Tim editing the video and finding we're going to be close to 40 minutes for this segment, so I'm going to cut it in half. Not to drag things out, but I think 40 minutes is a little long. I'm going to lose probably all of you by this point in time. So those of you I haven't lost, thanks. And we're going to come back with the second part of this where I wrap it up. And there may be an interesting twist to how this video ends. So be sure to stay tuned for next week, and we'll see you then.